right, guys, we are fully back. We're in with the second podcast this week, so I'm excited. But this man needs no intro because we've introed him maybe one or two times before. So, buddy, welcome. Is it three?
Yeah.
Is it three? Dude, welcome back to the podcast, man. How's life?
Pleasure to be here. Thanks so much. Very well, very well. Just trapped into a routine now. I've kind of like forced myself to be stuck in one place for a lot longer than usual. I'm liking it, and everything's good.
Good, man.
Just
How was
training.
Miami? How was like, because I
Oh,
text you and you were like,
unbelievable.
oh, I'm just gonna go to Miami. I'm like, as you do.
Be right back.
Yeah, literally.
It's Miami's beautiful. Honestly, I want to spend more time there. It's very entrepreneurial and very young, and you get a lot of people coming together. The best way to describe it is, have you been to Marbella?
Yeah,
It,
people say it's like because Steph's been there a few times, and like I know people that have been there. They say it's like Marbella, Dubai kind of combo kind of place.
honestly is literally that. It's like you've probably better than I have. It's like it really gave me Dubai vibes, Marbella vibes, and the fact you just said you put it together is pretty much Miami. So if you
Yeah,
like both of them, it's beautiful. Definitely a place I want to visit again. The fitness scene is incredible. The people are good. Everyone's like talkative. It's funny with the US culture is everyone wants to speak to you, even if they're busy. They give you time of day.
yeah, yeah,
UK is like, oh, we're in a rush. Gather, we've got to go to work. Got to go to the gym. Got to do this.
yeah.
Everyone's very present. It's brilliant. Love it though.
Probably because you got a nice English accent as well, man. People are just fascinated. What the fuck's this kid
It's,
doing here?
they all say, slow down, you speak too fast. I'm like, all right, because they stretch
Really?
out the words.
Oh,
They stretch out the words to like have a great day, like that sort of thing. It's like I'm like, oh, have a great day.
just head
One
down,
time.
move on. Yeah. What did you get up to
Uh,
when you were there? Because you went out with a mate, right? And you kind of just went out to just
so
work, film content and stuff.
So there's a few things I want to do, and I find like I tend to do them when I pull myself out of it. Otherwise, I get distracted, start doing other things. There was a few projects left off. We primarily went me, Reese, Alex Smith. Alex Smith's a videographer. Reese is one of my really good mates. He's a coach. We got a lot of content there, and kind of made use of the time. So our routine was like 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. is productivity and focus. 6 p.m. onwards is do what you like to get up to, stuff you shouldn't be getting up to. So, how was your trips away? I'm keen to hear.
Yeah, it was good, man. Obviously, it was a long time. It was a long time. It was 9 weeks total in Australia.
Yeah.
And the back end of the trip was tough just because of just like some family stuff that popped up. So Steph ended up staying out there to kind of get all that sorted. And then obviously I had to leave. So I had to leave the country sort of thing because of visa stuff. So no, it's all good. It was just kind of just like it was bittersweet because it sucks kind of like mate, this is that moment where I was like, it sounds really silly, but like that's the person, like that's the person, and like coming back to your home without them, that was a bit unexpected. But kind of was like, oh, it's kind of shit, bit of a shit feeling. But it's on the like, it sounds so cliche, but like that's my person. I see the rest of my life with this person. So it's like, what's fucking literally 7 weeks apart? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's fine. Yeah. But
You guys have
it
been
was a good trip. It was a good trip.
nice. You guys have been together for 3 years, under 3 years now.
Uh let's see, can't get this wrong. Can't get this wrong. Two.
Before we put out part of the podcast.
Yeah, two. It'll be 2 years. It'll be 2 years. So
Nice.
not a lot. Like I guess I don't know, man. Like I think it's like I speak to people and like because we live because I guess we have the same job. So like literally we I wake up an hour before her, but that's literally it. Otherwise, the whole day is together. We go to the gym at the train, we train at the same time. We obviously have time apart there, but then we come home, we work same out, like literally, and I can't believe we haven't killed each other. so so I'm like, fucking we actually, and then we're good. So like, but having like every day with someone and then you enjoy the same things, like you like getting coffee together and you like having downtime
Mhm.
together and you live with literally another athlete. Like it's yeah, like it's just bizarre. And then you come back here and it's a bit of a lonely sensation.
Yeah, yeah. That's quite cool. You've got like somebody you can share pretty much all the days, small things with, because that's kind of big things. I was speaking to Dina before. I was like, actually I find that every time you do small things, it's just so much better than the big things. And
Mm,
it's good to have like a big thing in there. You go for a dinner, you go for these like nice things, but a lot of times like the coffee, the walks, the training, company, that's pretty much 99% of the time. That's probably the thing I enjoy the most.
yeah,
It's or even dieting and being able to have like a walking partner so you don't have to walk yourself and do 20,000 steps. It's
literally.
like that thing. I'll be messaging her like, "What are you doing now? Let's go for a walk." If I was dieting every single time.
Yeah, yeah. But it is though, man.
That-
It is the little things in life. It really is. Like it's it's all the small gestures, it's all the small, like the smallest details. Again, it comes down to like business and things like that. Like at the end of the day, all businesses are quite similar nowadays to an extent. Like if it's a product, what's the difference between generally what's the I don't know cars, but like Lamborghini and Ferrari or vice versa, and then Lamborghini and this. What's the difference? It's all the small details to cars and it's all the small details to the showroom, how you're greeted and things like that. And I think it's exactly the same in any form of relationship you have, to be honest.
Kind of what you said there in terms of like the products, what's the difference? Here's a good question for you. Something I learned today. It's like a really good little mindset switch. So the difference between McDonald's and KFC, what does McDonald's do different?
Than KFC.
Yeah.
Oh, not I technically nothing, but like McDonald's is built like I want to say like it's almost like it's built a community sort of thing. Like it's more than just McDonald's, it's more than burgers and chips sort of thing now. Like KFC, I feel like it's just burgers and chips and buckets. Like that's all I see.
Yeah.
But McDonald's is more of like the golden arches. It's like it's a symbol. It's sort of thing. If that
Mhm. Very
yeah,
close to that. So McDonald's sold happiness, a
yeah.
happy meal. They share like a happy
Oh,
experience. So they've really nailed it there. Even though it's on paper, someone be like, "Oh yeah, this is the same, that's the same." Even though there's
yeah,
not a lot of similarities, but like McDonald's sell happiness, and it's how you feel that you kind of buy it as opposed to what it is. People are
yeah,
like, they do really well with that. It's just like I got that switch from like a marketing seminars pretty much on this morning at like 5 a.m. And it was like, that's a really good way to put it. What's the difference? What did McDonald's do? They sell happiness. So I was like, interesting.
yeah.
Like
That's so true,
different
man.
lens. Yeah. Like Happy Meal, you got a toy, get a family experience. The
Yeah,
food is a singular part of it. But
yeah. It is as well. And I guess even when you go into them now, how they've done it, they almost remind me of Apple shops now.
mm,
Like when you go into them, they're all a bit futuristic. Like if you go into, probably Miami's got some like nice ones as well. Like they're all like these wooden kind of countertops and things like that. They're very like futuristic experience as well.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's
100%.
interesting, isn't it? Like, yeah, I think because I know like when I was kayaking, one of my best mates still to this day, he has his own it's like a human psychology company for businesses. So businesses come to him, so like Oakley and all these kind of big companies. And it used to be like, hey, design our shops. So they would study how humans walk in. Why do they go to this area? Why did they go to this product and things like that? And then they design the store kind of like that. So they would study human behavior and obviously design stores and things like that for that. But now obviously he's transitioning into kind of like more sports development and more kind of different things away from just shops now, more like actually like if you go onto a website, why do you go to here instead of here and things like that. So it's
That's
interesting how we all build these almost like relationships with brands. It's like, why do we buy the new fucking iPhone every fucking year, like every September, and like we queue for it and stuff like that? And we know all that's going to happen is got a better camera, better memory. Is that about it? that's, about, that's about it, right?
that's it.
And you're like, fuck it, take £1,000 away from me. And you're
Yeah,
like,
go on. I need that.
yeah.
Easily.
And everyone does. Everyone just buys it for the sake of it as well. Like it's
Oh,
nuts. Like you
I
just like,
think
I might as well.
FOMO probably as well. They're like, oh, fear of missing out, you're gonna be behind. Probably play with that a little bit. Everyone
Yeah.
getting in to get it. It's interesting with that. I find like that's kind of like something to see, especially this time of the year with FOMO. Is like people tend to make decisions based on FOMO quite a lot.
Mm,
Fear of missing
yeah.
out on events, especially like if you bring it to fitness, is that that's a big thing nowadays. Um,
Yeah.
it's quite
Fitness
interesting.
industry's broken, bro.
What makes you say that?
Like
I wouldn't disagree.
I love it, but like it's just there's two tiers now for me. I don't know, maybe this is just because I don't know, maybe this is because I love bodybuilding and like I enjoy marketing and I enjoy that sort of side of it, but I'm not a very good I don't think I'm more bodybuilding than kind of like marketing, if that makes sense. Like I think now it's just very easy for people to jump online and do any form of online business, regardless of what that is. And this is why I generally think like again, like the coaches that I have on here are people that generally get results, generally train, generally are in the trenches every day, trying to do all these sort of things, instead of just getting very good at chatting shit, to be honest.
Yeah, it's almost like you can kind of like you can generally kind of pull it out, and I think like time usually tells. I get what you mean when it comes to like you prefer the coaching rather than the actual doing rather than the marketing of it, because it's like that's technically what brought you in. And I think we've had a lot of conversations about that. With that, do you ever feel like that's like a weakness rather than a strength? Like, do you think of that's like a strength rather than a weakness, or the
Both,
fact you love coaching so much?
both.
Yeah,
Yeah,
interesting.
because
Yeah.
it's like there's some things that I know if I this sounds very silly because it's like leaving money on the table, what people talk about and things like that. And like it's like this is the first year in 7 years that I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna do something for Black Friday. First time ever. So before, but then this is where I think you need to like, because before I think I was too arrogant. I think I was like, I'm not going to discount this. I'm not going to fucking discount that. I'm not going to do this sort of stuff. I'm like, well, actually, don't discount anything. Just make something a little bit different. Just do something different that you've never done before. That's all I'm doing. Like something really simple. I'm literally just being like, hey, I'm going to write 60 training and diet programs, personal.
Sick.
That's literally
Sick.
it. Like nothing fancy. Like it's literally just being like, I'm just gonna write you. So like just fill this form in, send it to me. We'll have a quick chat. I'll write you a training and diet program. Boom, all tailored to you, your needs, and that's it.
That's nice.
But like,
Bonuses. Yeah.
yeah, I was just like, why not? Because people want that sort of stuff as well. And I'll be like, cool, it's a lot. Like loads of people can't afford our full-time coaching. So I'm like, okay, like if you can't, here's a training and diet program that's not generic, that's not a free guide that I put together that's built for you, your atmosphere and your intolerances or whatever it is. I was like, yeah, fuck it, why not? And I'll write 60 of them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Don't achieve.
But that's it. But then I was like, but it probably took me that much time to be like to drop the ego sort of thing. Or
Yeah.
maybe just gain more knowledge on being like, well, actually just doesn't have to be this way, it could be this way.
So interesting you said that. Kind of like it triggers a thought I actually had probably last week or the week before. It's just something that's kind of comes to the surface. Like, do you know when you feel like there's something missing and you're like, there's nothing, if I can put, I can't put my finger on exactly what it is, just feel like something's missing. And for me, I just realized I was like kind of being very slow to implement new ideas. I was like, what if this goes wrong? What if that's not a good idea? And now I'm like trying to reverse that and be like, anything I think of, like just be quick with it. Like, because I realized last year I was like very quick with it and like I just felt my best. And I felt like there's a lot of momentum in my life. And like these last 2 months, I was just like, I'm kind of like almost slowing down in terms of implementation. And I
Hmm.
realized when I'm at my best, is implementation's higher and quicker. And I'm like, I'm just gonna give it a try. I think that's really cool to actually have that mindset because I've connected the dots like that recently with that. Well, someone said it to me in conversation. I was like, yeah, I'm almost finding reasons not to more now because I'm like, you kind of know a little bit more than usual, and you're like, that's not work because of that, because of this.
Yeah.
It's trying to pull myself out of it and be like, actually, you know what? Like, there's that thing like Kieran says. I think he said it years ago. It was like, be smart enough to know, but dumb enough to implement.
Yeah.
And I want to implement that even more and more. That's kind of something I've put as a sticky note in front of me. So,
Yeah. Amazing, man. Do you think that's because of what do you think that's because of the last couple of months or so? Like the
I
reason not
think
for implementing quicker, or maybe
probably prioritizing like learnings and also like a bit of like belief around the thing I was going to do. I felt like I need to have all the information correct and perfect to actually do it. And also I felt like I need to like, believe it's going to work. But sometimes I'm like, I'm just going to throw it out there. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, I was kind of very like risk averse, you can say. But
yeah.
that was something that's fine. Actually, I was like, that's not a good habit. A bit all the time. It's interesting. Even like setting goals, they're like, oh, I should do a photo shoot. What if it didn't work out? Or just let this go if it doesn't work out. And I find like kind of like you tend to have these habits come in and you can pull them out quicker. But it's a good little thing I kind of like realized and I was like, right, stop doing that, Taza. Like get your stuff
Yeah, yeah,
together.
yeah, 100%, man. It's an easy
Yeah.
thing to do. I think you so is I think sometimes the more we learn about ourselves, it sometimes brings up. I'm not going to say like you're going to have insecurities till the day you die, right? But I think sometimes the more you learn, sometimes the more insecurities you start to build, or the more you start to. Sometimes when you're in a good place, you're like, why should I try risking things? Why should I do all this sort of stuff? Because you're like, things are in a good place. But I think that definitely the last thing I've learned in the last couple of months is that fucking shit can come tomorrow and it can just take shit away from you. We could get like diagnosed with some terminal illness tomorrow. Like it sounds really, but like you just don't know what's around the corner. So you're like, just fucking do it. Like, what have you got to lose?
100%. It's funny you said that because I did a blood test recently just to kind of see where things were at. And you know, you do your first blood test, you're like, shit, something's gonna be wrong with me. Like, you're
Yeah.
like, cancer, I'm gonna have this, gonna have that. And I was like, I'm actually for the first time, I'm actually scared for my health. And I was like, is that normal? I asked her. She was like, yeah, it's quite normal. Like, do you ever pick up anything that you didn't expect to pick up? Like, yeah, we've had 6 cancers this week. Like this week. Like, get me off this chair. I don't want to know. Like, ignorance is
Fucking
bliss.
hell.
And
That's why people should do that shit, man. Like,
oh,
if you get your
100%.
bloods done every 6 months, like you can save your life.
I've not had experience with like that other side of things with you, like in terms of like kind of bloods being not where they want to be. Because mine came back and it was like everything's spot on. Obviously, casual vitamin D is like commonly is going to be low in you in the UK.
That's
Iron
probably
levels
yeah.
are low, sodium. Other than that, like testosterone was actually surprisingly good. Is it 27? It's like that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think it's because I've only had blood work done here. Well, recently I can't because I can't remember what my results were in the UK. But obviously being assisted as well, like I've had like not bad, like even off the back of my last prep when anabolics are high and things like that, and obviously you have orals and stuff in place. Honestly, I got my bloods back, and Cam was like one of the best bloods I've seen post show.
Nice.
So I was very happy with that. I got them done this time round. I've had like a common theme that my LDA and HDL can be just a little bit out. But overall cholesterol is absolutely fine. That could be genetic. I don't know.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
so I spent from not yeah last week I came off everything for 6 weeks, everything, not even TRT, everything. So psychologically really fucking hard. I understand when people say they're depressed now. I definitely have waves of like depressive thoughts and actions in a sense, like just not wanting to move, get up, do anything, things like that. um and I put that down to hormonal, more than anything, because obviously I came completely off. I didn't even pull dosaging down, and it probably was going from up here just to like probably
Basically.
normal is like yeah. So my testosterone came back on the high end of like, but just the normal readings, which was good. So I was
That's
happy. I thought it would be rock bottom.
yeah.
um and then I had some kidney markers out, but a lot of the bloods that came back for me could have been correlated with stress as well. So like if someone was stressed, those with the markers would be elevated as well. So it was more than likely lifestyle factors. But I've never had bad bloods at all. Nah, like I've always had some time like I always get them and I need to get kidney stack back in or something like that, or some sort of supplementation. I've had to introduce krill oil this time, just to get some form of different kind of I guess it's like an omega kind of different form of um I don't know, fishy shit. I don't know the science.
Science.
but yeah but yeah that's it really. Never really anything that I always shit myself, man. When I get blood same as you, I was like, that's it. Like
I'm died.
I'm gonna have to stop. I'm gonna have to like I'm gonna have to do some form of fucking health treatments. Like that's it, game over.
I was
But
there
no, it was
like
all right.
literally crafting the perfect Instagram photo, and now it's what's wrong with me. I was like, something's gonna happen. You can't like have these little thoughts. You're like, So interesting. I've never thought of that before. For
Yeah.
you, kind of like outside of like how's everything been with training? What's new since we last spoke for you? What are you
No,
what's
nothing. Obviously, it was really like psychologically it sucked to come off. But at the end of the day, like you've got to at some form, not like that, not the way that I did it. Do not do that. um, but yeah, obviously I'd had to go onto I was finishing a cycle anyway, so I'd have to go onto a TRT anyway and just kind of get everything healthy, get back on track, sort of thing. So the fact that I actually just fully came off was all right in a sense. Um, so yeah, man, I got back here. I just did my bloods. Yeah, improve on these markers, sort of thing. We can improve on these, but it's the green flag to go. So yeah, that's it. Otherwise, nothing's changed, man. Like the same training split, just training day food, rest day food's been altered, but otherwise it's growing again, man. Like it's my weight. My weight didn't really drop much in Australia, even when for those last 6 weeks, because I was able to keep food up nice and high, stuff like that. So it's fine. So I left here at 104, something like that, to Australia. And I dropped down to 98 when I was there. And now I'm back up to 101 now. So it's like, it's absolutely fine. And you're going to have that, in a sense, as soon as you pull anabolics, you're going to have like a massive drop in weight anyway, from fullness, even from just actually just fluid in a sense. So you're going to have that massive drop off anyway. So yeah, otherwise it's good as well because it's just forced you to relearn movements again. Like you're like, okay, cool, we're back at like in a sense, like my strength hasn't dropped. So now whatever that baseline was, I'm just making that baseline really good, and then I can push it up from there. So it's
interesting.
perfect, really.
How
Yeah.
long are you in off season for? As long as it's possible.
Yeah, I'll probably do this push up as long as health is fine. So anything from like I don't know, it could be 14 to potentially 20 weeks, who knows? So do that push up for that long. That would probably lead me into, I don't know where that would lead us into that time frame.
March all the time. I think
Yeah, so then
around that time.
yeah, so I'd probably then again just pull back a little bit. So again, have some downtime, TRT sort of thing, just pull back a little bit. And then I'd start prep. So yeah, so this is like a third push in the off season. But but I'll get back on stage at the end of this time next year. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Do you know your stage goals? What makes you? Because I feel like every diet someone goes through, and I kind of like use this as like a yearly thing now. Like every year, I go for like a big all the way cut. I don't really like doing mini cuts. I'm like, actually, that's gonna be the time for like me to really grow. You find like every time you do it, you come out like a different person. Like
Yeah.
since I was 16, not 18 actually, every year is usually like roughly around the same time, like between starting May, finish off in like September or October, around that time. And
Yeah.
it's every time it's like that's just been me since 18. And it's actually inspired by, do you know Christian Guzman? So much
Yeah. Yeah.
shredding.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Like it's kind of like put that into like a place where it's like every time you do a cut, you just or like you do like a place where you really push your body to like get lean, get shredded, whichever way you want to take it. It's like you can't become a different person coming out, and it's really interesting because I actually look forward to that. It's like it's really fast tracks growth as a person naturally. So it's I really love dieting for that reason. Like I can't wait to diet again. I've just stopped
Yeah.
dieting like 4 years ago, and I'm like, get me back on the like I
No,
miss it.
it does open up a very, like you say, it opens up a new world, a new mindset to you. When you because you how long did you diet for? You dieted and you did a shoot, right?
I'd say 20 weeks.
Okay,
It
yeah.
was it's a lot of travel. I was pretty much traveling every single month, so it was very inconsistent. So we could have done it in 12, but it was 20.
Yeah, okay, cool. What do you think was like throughout that time? I hate when people say, what's the one thing? But like, what is that kind of, I guess if you had to pick one thing that you really learned about yourself in a dieting phase, what would that have been?
It was I had a big belief that I couldn't push business, life all at the same time. I was pushing my physique. And like something that Charlie said to me, and actually not said to me, he said on a podcast, was like, I really took it away. I was like, I really want to bring that for myself. Like, he wants to be that person that's undeniable, where they can push their business, that's thriving. They can push their body, that's thriving. You can do all these things. And like, that was like the theme of the actual dieting. For me, I was like, as soon as I finished push dieting, business drops, personal life drops, mindset drops, routines drop, and then kind of like sometimes you build negative habits when you diet and just to get through. And I was like, I actually want to break that belief, and this was like the most enjoyable cut I did because of that.
Nice, man.
And for me, that was like kind of the thing I learned about myself, where actually nothing needs to be paused at the same time to get these things actually make the journey like incredibly rewarding. Where you kind of use this as like your productivity tool because, especially towards the end of a dieting phase, when you have no energy, you're doing like 20,000 steps, an hour cardio, and 1,200 calories. It's like you can't be wasting time because you've only got so much energy. So I'm like, I'm not going to be distracted by this, by that, by this.
Yeah,
So it's like a
yeah.
good productivity tool, especially towards the end. I was like, I'm thriving. It sounds crazy, but the fact I'm doing so much makes me more productive because
Yeah,
I
man.
can't
I
get
had
distracted.
I had the best content that time because there's so much to talk about. There's always something going on. So you have the best content. You visually look your best, so you kind of feel your best. And
100%.
then like it's little things, isn't it? You're like, right, I'm just gonna fucking work for 2 hours because then if I do this for 2 hours, then I get to eat. And then I do another 2 hours, and then I get to eat. Like
100%.
it's just little
100%.
things like that. Like, and I just again, I don't like when people have to be like, yeah, I'm just gonna pause my life for 14 to 20 weeks. I'm like, bro, that's so long. Like, you could just like,
Mm.
especially when it comes to business, like it's bit
No, like,
business doesn't need to be fucking 17 hours a day. Like, just put like you're spending 2 hours training, an hour doing cardio, and an hour doing steps. So it's 4 hours a day, right? Cool, big whoop. And then you cook for an hour, 5 hours a day, whatever it is. Then you've got the other 4 hours to focus on business, or another 5 hours. It's like
mm,
everyone, like, because you're when you're in prep, you wake up at fucking 5 a.m. anyway. Like, so like you've got the time in the day, so just spend it. Like,
100%. It does make you kind of have like a lean life, not just in terms of body, but obviously like looking good in content is a big advantage. I'm like, as you look forward to doing content now, I'm like, can you make me look slim?
yeah, yeah, mate, I'm buzzing.
Like,
I
give me
can't
this
wait to.
angle.
Mate, I take my top off now and look in the bathroom like no one's seeing this. Like you get to see it on a check-in once a week, and that is as good as
That
it
is
gets because my body
it.
dysmorphia is fucked at the moment as well. So no one else gets to appreciate this.
Have you kind of found off seasons easier the more you do them? Or have they all kind of been the same?
Um, I guess I would say probably this one has been the most disciplined, like most prep. Like I'm still this. Well, I literally got off stage almost a year ago, like 5 days ago, and I'm still doing cardio 5 days a week. So a year later.
Nice.
So
Nice.
like, and I'm still training abs on those morning. Like I'm training abs, fasted cardio, abs, and things like that. Like I don't have the if it fits your macros lifestyle sort of thing. I wasn't trying to fit in like these things that I did before. Now I literally just eat the same meals. Like it's been the most prep off season that I've had. But well, if I look at my physique now and I look at the last one, I'm like, thank like I thought I looked bad now. Like I looked really bad before. Um, but I don't yeah, like it's I'm quite happy not eating as much. I think that's
Mm,
a big one. Like, even though my food's not crazy high, I could very happily eat like
more. Mm.
I could eat more, but like I it's even now it's a bit uncomfortable sometimes. But like I finished my prep on 2,300, 2,500, so it never got really low. So like 3,000 to 2,500 for me, I'm happy at that. That's happy pace. But right now it's
Nice.
like
Nice.
it's 4,000 every day plus, and you're like, yeah, it's just a bit much.
It's funny because like sometimes you see guys that are trying to build up and they go straight to 4,000. I'm like, you don't need 4,000. Like, you need 2,400.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Knock it back. Like, it's so funny how you see that, but it's quite cool because obviously I've known you for a while, and it's only since the last 12, maybe 12 months since you actually probably spoke, but this year actually. And I've kind of seen that consistency is kind of like stats, and like you used to do abs and cardio, then you're still doing now. And it's like that itself speaks volumes. So
Mm.
it's impressive. It's funny how like kind of when you stick to it, people think, oh, you can't see a future in it. But like when you can have someone that proves you otherwise, like you've been doing this for like 7, 8 years, from what
Mm,
I've seen, it's
yeah.
interesting to see. So
Yeah, so it feels like I think it's weird, isn't it? Like I've been coaching like face to face like till now, like seven, like you say, 7, 8 years. But only I feel like, man, I feel like only since
last year, usually.
yeah, and like probably since I moved here, even less, do you know what I mean? Like in the last couple of years, like maybe more so since I moved here. So the last 3 years, I've really like kind of took it a bit more seriously. But then even before, I think I did take it very seriously. I think it's just little things you just don't the intensity, the execution on a daily basis, you think it's high at the time, but it just wasn't. Um, so yeah, I think that's all that's increased is just how you approach the day and the intensity you put into the little things. Yeah, more so training than anything else.
Interesting. Yeah. Do you find because obviously with the training piece now is like honestly this is like a lot of mindset rather than actual strategies and like ideas with like how you can do these things better. Do you work in your mindset quite a lot nowadays? Like do you work in that as like a daily repetition thing or is it kind of something
I
that's
need
like
to.
interesting? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I need to. Yeah, I've definitely yeah, man. Like the last again, like last month, whatever it is, I definitely realized like that I'm very good. Probably like you. I don't know. You seem pretty wide.
I you can say that. It's like a what's that saying now where it's like float like a duck and then paddle like fuck. It's like you know the whole analogy where the boat the swan looks so calm and the duck looks so calm and like
Yeah,
underneath is like paddling.
yeah,
It's I just use language like language patterns and like I never say a struggle, I never say it's like a bad day. I'm always like kind of manipulating that. But I'm always interested in what the people do in terms of like how they can improve and grow their mind forward because there's always something that's like there's no end point to it, but the benefits carry over. So
yeah,
like things such as like a small thing could be like identifying certain distractions, certain things you do. Because recently now, for example, I've kind of realized I tend to check my phone a lot. And I'm like, I told someone
yes,
this and they were like, here's a good analogy. So like checking your phone is like smoking. If you were thinking of it like that, it's like, I'm not gonna go for the smoke, I'm just gonna leave it there. And I
yeah,
was like, I've checked this so much less since hearing that. And it's
yeah,
like changing your mind towards things. Now it's just here. If a notification comes up, I'm not gonna go for that cigarette.
yeah,
It's a good way to
yeah. I like that. That's good. That's probably the biggest one, and that's probably a lot what's made me feel a bit more anxious is because obviously, like, I'll go on. I might even see your stuff, right? And I'm like, oh, he's fucking working harder than me. He's doing more than me. He's getting better reach than me, and all this shit, right? And you're like, stop fucking looking at it. Like,
Yeah,
just don't. Like,
yeah.
but it's so easily done. Like, I got into a very bad habit, and it's still not 100%. But I look at my phone too early in the day.
Mm.
I want to wake up to prep my meals, do cardio, do abs, shower, go for get coffee, then look at my phone. That's what I want to do.
That's a nice ideal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed
Because
with
I'm like, everyone can wait till fucking 8 a.m. Do you know what I mean? Like, or not even that, 7:30. Like the time it's all done.
it.
So it's like everyone
Yeah.
can wait till then. I think, yeah, and I need to get there because all my apps, I've got that thing where they all close down at like 7:30. So like in 5 minutes, they all close down. But who's the fucking idiot that goes ignore? Like, yeah, so I'm very much the same as you. Like, I think I'm very calm on the exterior, but I think I struggle. I've seen probably seen that compounding effect where I've let things slip, and now it's hit me a little bit harder.
That's probably it's kind of like it was always the case of that. The cracks start small and then kind of like you want to close them in the small as opposed to widen up.
Yeah,
So it's something that Asri said today on the actual event because I was on there since 7 a.m. this morning. He said something that what he does is he has like a time audit, so he tracks where his time's going, and then you get like a nice little chart where it's like you put in this much towards here, this much towards here. And I found that quite groundbreaking, where it's actually tracking the time as well as other things, because if you can control where it's going, and you can actually like similarly where you can drop your calories to diet,
yeah,
increase your calorie gain, you can almost do the same thing there. It's all right, drop calories there, drop
yeah.
time there, drop this
He's
time there.
freaky though. Do you not think he's freaky? Like how he,
If you're
I,
listening to this,
I did
I'm
a,
so impressed with the guy. It's
mate,
class.
I did a podcast with him, and I was like, bro, I don't know how the fuck you do that in a day, man. Like, I was like, holy shit. Like, but it blew my mind. I'm like, you mate, you deserve it. You deserve it. Like,
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
like honestly, if
Definitely.
anyone deserves it, it's fucking him. So fair play. But yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it? There's certain things that like I don't know. I do, man. There's no answer to it. Like, because there's the kind of that inner fucking strong me that says just like do whatever it takes. But then there's also the guy with a heart on his sleeve that just is like, just sometimes just fucking cave. Like it's okay. So sometimes you're very like that. I think that's why training for me is like that only where I'm like, just go all in. It's because I know that there's a result if you go all in with that sort of thing. And I think sometimes that again, I think I probably need to probably take up like not oh yeah, probably take up some form of like, I don't want to say counseling because I don't feel like I want to talk to a stranger,
So
but I want to talk to someone and I
it's
want them to emotionally not have anything to do with me. Yeah.
it's definitely kind of something I've been thinking recently. I find like if I'm going to take advice from someone, it can't be someone that I'm not inspired by. So like,
Yeah, because they're
go
gonna
to
think you're
someone
fucking
that's
crazy, man. Like
yeah,
if they say like if we like, oh like yeah, we do this fitness thing, we run online coaches business, and then we do this to our bodies and things like that. Bro, no, like I just don't believe like I think when you have such ambitious people, I just don't believe a counselor
would
is
get it.
gonna give me the advice I want. I don't want them to be like, it's okay, like just ask me how does it make you feel. I'm like, I know how it fucking makes me feel. like like I'm here, aren't I? I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know who's probably good to kind of dive into with that? So I went to a physique camp. Do you know Jackson Pios?
Is this the barley one?
Yeah, yeah. You should come down next year. It's I learned a lot about myself when I was there. It's also like the conversation we had, like, which is crazy because he's obviously like kind of pushing body into like he wants to go to the Olympia. He's gonna go to the Olympia. He's got set into with that. And, like the actions and like the language he uses is quite interesting in terms of like something I've never heard before. And also being on that side of the world, people think differently. So I was like big, it was like a big refresh in terms of perspective.
Yeah.
So I found that could be kind of like I definitely think with that, I think it's more of a case of like exploring the unknown in a sense, like having the
Yeah.
answers sometimes because
Yeah.
it's been on my radar. Whereas that actually, what way should I go about it? Should I calm down? Should I go faster?
Mm.
Am I being lazy? Just needing the answers sometimes. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
I definitely think I spoke Jay Bennett walked back into the gym today and he did obviously being prepped, I don't know, he's prepping for quite a long time, right? And then he just took 2 weeks off. He told like his team, like, don't do anything. He didn't go on his phone for 2 weeks. I think I would like to do something like that, but schedule it in throughout the year. So being like, right, okay, we've got the year, and like, because we're quite organized, we roughly know what's coming up. I'll be like, no matter what, this week or of the year, so every 3 months or something like that of the year, I book somewhere away, I go somewhere, or it could be just a staycation or it could be somewhere, whatever it is, but I just do not take my phone. And I'm like, right, go MIA. I think that would probably be one of the best things for me, I think.
Very killer. We've done that
Yeah.
before.
Huh?
Done that before.
No. That's why I think it'll be great.
Nice, nice. Like it, like it. It's definitely something on the radar. It's so that's something I've never actually thought of, but that's really a good way to see it. Where it's Louis Calvo was actually speaking to him a while back, and he was, "Oh, do you want to go to a meditation retreat?" I was like, "What is it?" Oh, sorry, a silence retreat. It's like you can't speak for 24 hours.
That'd be fucking amazing.
Came back and he was like, "Bro, I feel so clear in my mission." I was like, "This is exactly what there should be more of. Just that you don't speak to anyone. You're in a place, nobody's speaking. You just kind of like inside there,
Yeah.
that sort of stuff."
Yeah, mate. Let's just like every 3 months, let's go to Tibet and let's get our hair shaved off and live with monks for a week.
You
Dude,
know what?
you know
That could
how
be
close I'd be doing to that right now is very close. Yeah. Or I'd want
nice.
to do what's the one where you go and like I don't know, you have to go like an organized retreat and they give you that. Is it a drink or like that drug? Is it ash? And you fucking like hallucinate.
Oh, I've heard of that. I don't know what it is, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, and you trip out and things like that, but you have to be under like, yeah,
Have you tried holotropic breathing?
no.
mental. It's something we did in Bali. It's like the way the instructor, he taught us what it is, and we did it for like a lot of time actually. It's supposed to be an hour. It's supposed to be an hour thing. We were there for like 4.5 hours just tripping out. Like it was mental.
Wow.
So it was the thing behind holotropic breathing is basically there was a doctor back in the days. He used to use mushrooms to treat people's trauma and kind of look at that, and that's like obviously delivering some crazy results. And then they found eventually the government made that illegal, so they couldn't use mushrooms. So the doctor was getting amazing results. He was changing people's lives.
Yeah.
It was crazy. He was literally like making such an impact. So he was like, I need to find another way to do the same thing now. So
Yeah.
they found holographic breathing, and what it is like a sense of breathing where it's kind of like I think is you in through the belly, inhale through the chest again, out through the nose, out through the mouth, like drastically, and there's like quite it's like a vibration and a sense of like flow. And we did that, and I was like, I'll probably just fall asleep. It's gonna be boring. I'll be open minded to it. I'll do it. And then we started at the thing actually started at 11 a.m. and everyone passed out when
No
they did it,
way.
and everyone was tripping. And like there was a part now where I think we woke up, but by the way, we woke up at 4:30. We were like, oh, it's only half an hour, right? No, he's in the evening. I was like, it was mental. So like the things you'd get is you'd go so back into your future. There was a part now where she
What? So
says
like you do the breathing for and you just fall asleep?
it's like naturally what happens is it's kind of like your oxygen in your brain. Something happens to that, it drops down and you kind of hallucinate. So it plays
Oh,
with that. And then you just pass out and you have these like crazy memories and like visualization. You can literally see everything exact. And
oh,
people were
so good,
waking
bro.
up. Some were crying. They were like, don't know what I'm feeling right now. There's so many emotions. Everything's come to the surface. They were crying. Um, some were like super happy, like very happy. Some were like, I'm so confused. And then it's like some were like, I don't know, just not feeling anything for the first time. And it's so
That's a
interesting.
nice feeling. That's a nice feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it really like when I did that, I was like, I remember going to dinner afterwards and I didn't speak to anyone. Nobody spoke. They were like, we just need to be here. But just went in there, got my food, sat down, didn't look at anyone. Went back to the actual resort, just sat down. I was like, no, like there was no feeling whatsoever.
Wow.
Like, I don't have any cravings, don't have any appetite. Could taste food to like the absolute best, but I was like, there's nothing I want to do. Just and then just be here thinking nothing, experiencing nothing. It's like it's crazy.
That's cool,
So
man. That's sick.
you can do it on YouTube.
Yeah, man, I would do that thing is like something like that I want to do, like even little things like this is sometimes why like I've had the reflection, I'm thinking about kayaking a lot more. Like, because that was honestly probably like now that I look at it, it was the most freeing time of my life. Like, obviously you're young, you got no fucking worries, right? But like the fact that like when you're on like honestly there's nothing better just being in the middle of like Canada or Uganda in the like or like for example like I was in like Uganda for like a good period of time and like you just live on an island and you train on the Nile, like there's fucking no one there, there's just African kids running around like helping you with all your stuff, and there's nothing better than like just surfing a wave and just nothing like, and I'm just like, that's what I want again. Like that feeling of just floating, gliding, being with elements and stuff like that. There was just something about it that was so amazing. And I'm like, yeah, I need to. That's why I was like, right, I actually might even do this. Like, I'm on my own. Like, and everyone else is, it's like trying to meet other people. It's like, oh, I'm busy. I got this. So I'm like, fuck this. I'm just going to go get a sup board and just take myself out of the water, like on the weekend.
Honestly, go for it, 100%. It's
Yeah.
funny with like the whole thing of being busy is like busy is like a social norm now. Like you'll message someone that's the way I like to kind of think of busy is like if I message someone that's not got a job, they live at home, I message them and like, oh, you do this for tonight or like next week, and they're like, oh, I might be busy. I'm like, doing what? Like everyone wants to say they're busy, and if they're not busy, like you probably don't want to be their friend.
Yeah.
It's like
So true. Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah.
like imagine saying no, I'm not busy. It's like that must be a bad answer. You feel
That must
guilty
be
some
you
saying
lazy,
no.
bro. Yeah.
Get your shit together, get busy.
Yeah.
It's
Do you
like
want do you
social
want
norm.
anything? It's like, yeah, do you want anything in life?
Like I'd always feel bad for saying no. I'm like, yeah, it's busy, but I'm like, I don't know what that means really nowadays.
Yeah.
It's like you do up against it.
Busy. I
So
think when
it's
you get productive, you realize busy is such bullshit.
oh, 100%.
Oh, I'm busy. I'm like, yeah, so what? Like, fucking
So is everyone
busy's
else.
not that busy's not like a priority.
It's like a social norm. It's honestly like everyone's technically that. Like my mum's busy, and I'm like,
Yeah,
what you doing? TikTok. Like,
yeah.
it's like,
I'm watching Netflix, bro. I'm busy. Oh
it's so
no.
it's funny that happens. I love the like I'm almost like I want to challenge it and like change that. Like, yes, you're busy, but you're choosing to do these things, and it's you can change it. You can change it if you wanted to, right? So it's definitely funny when that happens. And like, yeah, doing what? Like,
Yeah. Well, actually, do you know what? We should
yeah,
actually start questioning more when we do it. Send a text. You're like, but what are you doing? Yeah, but I'm doing this.
yeah,
Yeah, but that's not really busy. What are you doing?
get yourself
Keep
outside.
harassing them.
100%.
No, amazing.
What's something you like has got your interest recently that's kind of changed your view to bodybuilding? Like, how have you? What's keeping you within bodybuilding? I'd love to hear that.
Like the fire,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's keeping the fire lit?
the Olympia.
Sick, sick.
No, I don't know. You know when you watch that and you just think like, that's it. I'm gonna be a mutant. And then you realize like, I'm probably not, but no, I don't. Do you know what, man? I don't know. I just like I kind of just like I just like what it gives you. Like it's not even like I just like training. I've always liked training from a young age. And I just like going in there and just hurting. Just
So,
like going in there and hurting myself, to be honest. Like, yeah. And I think I just approach training a bit more lighthearted than I used to. I used to worry about all like mechanics and all this sort of stuff. And yeah, like I say, like I 100% agree with science. Like it's fact. Like try not to do a lat pull down like this. We know it's a bit better to do it like this, right? We know that sort of thing. So like, but when it comes down to it, I'm like, but and then you look at people that are like the best in the world, and they don't do any of that shit. So you're like, oh, is there a bit of like, I don't know, like some of them do it, but some of them don't, and well, 80% of them don't. So you're like, maybe I should just like fucking lift shit really well with good control, and eventually I'll get big.
exactly.
So yeah, I just kind of look at it a bit like that, to be honest. I just a lot more lighthearted with training, to be honest. And just as long as like I'm lighthearted with the methodology, but my intensity's there,
Mm.
I'm okay with it. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
a it's kind of like self-expression, isn't it? It's like the part where you actually express yourself in terms of like it's like a good art where you can manipulate change and see the results right away. And it's like
Yeah.
it's funny with fitness and bodybuilding because it's generally the only thing in life where if you put more in, you get more out. In business, never the case. There's discrepancy in relationship discrepancies, other people involved. This one is the more you put in, the more you get out. It's the only thing out there.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, and it's
So,
just like even when it comes down to like I don't know, I kind of look at my body and I'm like, I kind of have a nice shape. So I'm like, oh, if this shape had like more to it, what would it look like?
mm.
Because like I diet down, I've got a 26, 28, 26, 27 inch waist. And then I've got decent insertions like in my legs and kind of like I think I look pretty balanced and things like that. I don't look like I've got a spastic arm or anything like that. So I'm like, well, what would that look like if it had like 5, 10 more kilos? And I think it'd be quite pretty. And it'd be quite classic, quote unquote. So I'm like, yeah, fuck it. Like, I think I've got this sort of thing. So I think my goal for next year is just, I just want to be like that silent person that I just rock up like random shows and everyone goes, oh, fuck, who's this randomer? Like,
Easily. Yeah.
yeah. And I'm like, yeah, it's me sort of thing. That's all I want for next year, to be honest. Yeah.
Plus, there is that element of that where is that someone just comes out and sweeps the floor. It's always
Yeah,
the case.
that's it. And I
Yeah,
don't
so
really like any competition. Like you don't go in there to come second. You always go in there to win. But I don't really like. It's not the if I don't, but I'm happy with what I like. Again, we're like super happy and proud of the prep and what I bring. I'm all good with that. If someone's better than me and they're bigger than me and they beat me, I'm like fucking fair play. Like you do deserve it. Um,
mm,
like I'm like we know like we've seen the judging and stuff like that now. It's really good. Like it's very fair. It's very good judging now. So I'm like, and you can kind of see as a male, like it's always the same feedback. Like if you're quite balanced, you train everything very symmetrically and things like that, you might have to bring up certain areas. But the chances are you just need to be bigger and you need better conditioning.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Who do you think should and shouldn't compete?
I don't think you should compete if you're doing it to compete. Like, I think if you're like, yeah, I'd love to compete, and like you actually think of just the competing and being on stage and the gratification that you'll get from it because of like social media and like competing, you shouldn't compete then. Because like you won't actually make it, I don't think.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you'll probably look shit because you won't be able to push yourself in a dieting phase to get yourself into stage condition. Um, I think you should compete if you generally just want to. I think competing should be a thing that you naturally do. Like I kind of did it reverse, but like I've had guys now do 2 photo shoots and now they're interested in competing. And I'm like, cool, man. All it is exactly what you did plus 6 to 8 more weeks. That's it. And you just have to practice posing along the way. Otherwise, that's kind of it. I think it should be a natural progression with what you do. And it should be like, I think you should just love I think when it comes to competing and actually like that, I think you need to love the lifestyle of it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's comes from a good place, that does, isn't it? Because I feel like if it's for the Instagram, you can do photos, you can get better photos sometimes because you can play with that and
Hey, you don't even
you've
need to
got
get
as
as
much time a
lean.
day. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need to get as lean and you'll look better and
Yeah.
you'll actually technically, I'm not going to say you'll have like if you're a coach, you're more relatable because not many people can relate to getting on stage. So actually you'll be more relatable because you're in a condition that most people would want. And actually it's fairly like photo shoot condition, depending on how lean you are, it's fairly manageable for like most of the year round, really.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good way to twist it, to be fair. I never thought of it that way where it's like kind of exactly a photo shoot but 6 weeks after. That's a
Yeah.
different lens, but it technically is like do what you did, but just cut off early. So
Yeah, technically. And you just have to
yeah.
practice some posing because that's what most people do, don't they? People get to like I remember it. I did like 2, 3 weeks out. I did a photo shoot
Sick.
because I'm like I'm lean, but I'm not like
Email as well, right?
in those
Benefit.
last like few weeks, you just go fucking nothing. So you're like, fuck it, I'll do it now whilst I look all right. And I know that I'm gonna be flat and shit like that. And then I'll do another one afterwards. I'll do one like a few days after. So
Nice, nice.
yeah. But yeah, photo
So,
shoots are fun, man. Photo shoots are great. Like,
mm,
and you get like you'll have more, in a sense, reward from it sometimes because it's like you're more present with it. It's not as stressful, it's not as overwhelming most of the time for people. Um, you can spend an hour, 2 hours potentially with a group of people, good chilled photographer, nice location, it's chilled.
this
Um,
time there's like no show lights. You're in a good place.
yeah,
Starts
that's it. And then you do 20 weeks of dieting to get on a stage for like 2 minutes. You're like, cool, you're done. Yeah.
Oh, forgot to smile. Yeah, you can't go back
Yeah,
up.
that's
Sorry.
it. Forgot to smile. Your tan didn't look good. Fucking whatever it was. You fucked up on a
That's
few
so
areas, but you're
interesting.
like, yeah. So
It's funny, like, because I've started following a lot more like bodybuilding, like content on social media. I'm like really loving like the way he's seen it. So I've like kind of set a goal where it's before 30 to use it as a goal and like not necessarily a case of competing to carry on competing. Who knows? But it's kind of like before I'm 30, I want to do it. So I've got 5 years, but it's
yeah.
interesting. You kind of consume more of the content you're like, actually, so see if I can push myself to that level. That'd be always really interesting.
Yeah, you could do, man. Like you could do it now straight away.
Yeah, probably like I want to kind of almost do it as like a big goal where it's like not necessarily doing the UK. I'll probably do like athlete, for
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
That's 'cause then I can be like, actually, that's gonna excite me. So like, for example, now I've done a photo shoot, and I'm like, what? How can I make the next one even better, rather than the same location and kind of the same? So kind of use that as like a little, like a retreat style in a sense,
Yeah.
whereas like you're gonna do this pretty cool thing. You're gonna go there, take the photos, do the competition, kind of like a little experience of it all. So it's actually
Yeah,
done like
man.
experience to shoot. So
Nice.
try to put pen to paper what the next one would be. I'll probably do the next one as like Dubai or something.
Yeah,
Go do
sick.
the do an event, something like that. It's really
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
that'd
cool.
be perfect. Yeah, that was what was quite nice. Like, 'cause, in Oz, Steph had like a
Mm.
nice group one. Like, this is why it was quite nice. This is why I was like, this is a cool photo shoot. So like, the competition season ended for her and a bunch of her girls, but she organized a group photo shoot at the end of it. So all even her lifestyle clients, everyone could come. Like, they all flew in from different parts of Australia to come do it as well. And they had like in Australia, it's cool because like you can, I guess, anywhere, right? But
Yeah.
like loads of houses have like pool houses sort of thing. So some people rent them out for photo shoots and for events. So like you can rent these kind of like, it was a nice kind of, it was probably like this. It was like a duplex kind of thing, and it had a pool going out onto it, very kind of Bali kind of style. And then you get a photographer in for kind of like 3 hours, half a day, whatever, and they shoot everyone. It was like, it was a really cool vibe. So stuff like that is really cool. Like, I really enjoyed like doing group shoot stuff like that. It's really, really cool. Yeah, it's good fun.
Definitely have to get like a boys photo shoot going.
We'll do it. We'll do it like,
Let's do it.
I would
Before
do
you
it
come
like, to be fair, I'd probably be ready like 2 months before, like photo shoot condition. So like, when was that movie? September, October? Yeah, I'd do September next year.
oh, it's easy. Done. Head here first. That's the podcast.
We can do, we can do a couch podcast. We can have our tops off because
Easy.
we don't have any rolls underneath us. It'll be great. And we can just have
Definitely.
like
And
a
then just
casting couch of like, what is it? What's that? What's that? We could get a bunch of boys doing it. What's the stripper TV show and the music?
Magic Mike. Is
Yeah,
it?
mate, we'll just do a podcast of Magic Mike version.
Yeah, fuck it. Has to be a bow tie, a hat, and just
Mate, the reach will be insane. We finally done it.
that sort of stuff actually gets viral. So if you ever are struggling for an engagement, just do that, boost it, do what you need to.
Great. We won't release this podcast till the day before because now everyone's going to steal our idea.
Definitely doing that. It's podcast official.
Stuff like, yeah, mate, I would do that. Stuff like that's great.
I'm almost like I'm kind of like pen and paper. I'm like, just do something cool. Let's get all these people on like a photo shoot, get all your mates in there. It's like
I know there's a few, I think Jack and a couple of others are doing the same thing, end of 24. They're getting on stage and they said, oh, it'd be really fun for us all to prep together. Not that you actually prep with them,
things like that.
you just look miserable in the gym together. But
Going for like a shared struggle in a sense. It's like
yeah,
so
it'll be
definitely
good,
down.
man. It'll be sick. Yeah, that's it. What have you got now till, mate, now till Christmas? What have you got going on?
So for myself, just more so like head down, focusing on everything. Kind of really studying in terms of a bit more marketing and kind of the content, because that's something that's I always try to like, find like monthly areas where I can improve on. So for me, this month is like how can I make my content kind of be like more to the algorithm. That's kind of what I'm focusing in terms of business, as well as like the results are going. I'm also kind of going through a phase where I'm trying to shift in terms of my own personal rituals. Kind of looking at a bit of development over these next 8 weeks prior to the new year, just trying to break that down
Yeah.
as much as I can. So that's like two things I'm focusing on. So like marketing, like as much as I can, implementing that as well at the same time, like a bit of a personal development phase, like these next 8 weeks, because I've kind of neglected that, or not neglected it, I've been distracted from it, you
Yeah.
could say, because I've not really had a focus period where it's like these 8 weeks you can do this and really dive into that. So
Yeah.
that's the two things, and also how can I be better outside of fitness and business? That's my focus. Yeah, I've kind of neglected that area as well. So it's
Nice.
where it's if someone said to me, "Oh, what do you do outside of work and training?" I'm like,
Good question. Yeah.
I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
It's definitely something I'm trying to prioritize a bit more of. Because it'd be like meals out, small things, but I'm like dialing into what's important outside of that. So
Do you
bit of
have
development.
anything? Do you have anything that's important? That's really weird, but like, because do you have anything in your life work, besides work or business, training, and your relationship?
Probably not so much, no. I'd say
Yeah.
I like novelty. So like doing new things. That's my thing that kind of keeps me excited. So even if it's the same thing but in a different environment or like a different way,
Yeah.
it keeps me engaged. But it's kind of pretty much all four things because I think I've kind of been like this since I was probably 18. Like, so birthday in 2 weeks. And it's funny because that time of the year, every single year since I was 16, I spent my birthday by myself on purpose. I'm like, nothing matters, just be by yourself. And it's like, book a hotel or just somehow not be with people. Like I actually quite enjoy that. So I'm like, I'm very minimalist with what my
Do you live
activities
on your
do.
own? Do you live on your own now?
So me and my brother.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But outside of that, it's kind of like it's almost like I just book a hotel away, or he comes from uni, so he stays there. But most of the time, it'd be like last year I was on a flight coming back from Texas. The year before, I was in Liverpool for a whole day by myself. Time before it was London. So it's like always different things. There was
Yeah.
in Australia. So it's like kind of interesting because every year I've been by myself on purpose, and it's like it's quite nice. So then I kind of realize I actually enjoy my own company doing the same things.
Yeah.
That's
No,
why I
I'm
thought,
with you on that. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what's weird? I put a poll up the other day, just super red, like introvert or extrovert.
So,
I clearly everyone that follows me is an introvert. Not one person said they were an extrovert.
mm. What's the definition? Is an introvert is a person that gets energy when they're by
From
themselves, and the extrovert is someone that gets energy from other people.
yeah, I think that I wouldn't know the definition. I just know someone that likes being on their own and someone that likes being around people. Yeah.
It's always the energy piece. Apparently, it's like because I actually thought I was an introvert, but like from that definition, I'm actually more extroverted. I find like when I've got people around me, I'm more energetic, conversational, creative. By myself, I'm like kind of not necessarily less, but it's comparably different. So it's
I think there's I'm I'm good. I think the definition is I'm very good at my own and I enjoy my own company. But am I an introvert? I don't think so. I think I like, but I don't need much extrovert things. If I have two things a week, like if I had like again, if you said, "Hey, let's get a group of us together and let's go get shisha and just chat about life and ideas and things like that," and then do that twice a week, I'd be like, "Yeah, perfect for a couple of hours. That'd be enough for me."
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but
100%.
the rest of the time, I'm very happy just to be in a dark room like this now and just go in hermit mode.
Before this podcast, I just had a red light on, just like everything pitch black. It's like red room, just do your stuff.
Yeah, sick, man. That's
It's
so
like
good.
okay. How about you? What's happening between now and Christmas for you?
Mate, just routine. Just routine.
Like,
I really want like to do again, very much the same as you. I'm putting more energy back into my content, back onto YouTube's, back onto podcasts. So like we're getting the studio in Dubai next week. Um, just because I want to get that and it's really fucking cheap as well. So I was like, yep, sick. So I just want to start doing that. Just start YouTubing again, just vlogging life and just shit. Just only for myself, like just because I like speaking my thoughts and stuff like that. But yeah, man, that's it. Otherwise, yeah, sit and just train and just document training. I'm really glad that I got a new lens for my camera, so I'd enjoy. That's probably gonna be my hobby, is just being like taking pictures and stuff.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I enjoy that
Definitely.
sort of stuff. Yeah, like editing and stuff like that. It's fun.
Creativity stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I think I
Yeah.
just because I used to do it with kayaking all the time. And then I'm like, oh, like I remember like how to use Final Cut and all this sort of stuff. So I'm like, yeah, this is fun. Like, and now this
Uh,
new shit, now you don't have to do anything because AI just does it for you. You're like,
That's it for you. Sprinkle.
yeah, that's it. I want
Just click
this
the
here.
button.
Sick, good to go.
Done.
Yeah, so
There was a Alex Emoji advert. Did you see it? Where someone used AI to use his voice to sell their own products.
no way. No, did it work?
It's hilarious. I think he probably made a lot of money from it. So they use his voice and had all that the backdrop. They're like, oh yes, I use this software to grow my business, and it's only 9.99 a month. Ooh, a lot of people got onto that.
Wow, that's so good, man.
Crazy. Google it. It's like a
I would.
business program. It's mental.
That's nuts. I would like you say, like studying platforms and stuff like that.
Mm.
I would like to kind of know, do we actually know how it fucking works? Like algorithms and all this sort of stuff. I think we know like trending stuff and like to try and stay up on the trends, but unless it's your full-time job, like I don't know. I don't know.
100%. It's always changing as well. So it's like you don't know. A few weeks
It's like
down.
story views, mate. Like I have 9,000 followers, and yesterday I had 150 people watch my stories.
It's funny how that's changing, isn't it?
And then
It's
some days like it's
1,000. Yeah.
150, and then the next day it's 1,000, and then I'm like, it's like bipolar.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm not doing anything. Like,
Yeah. It is interesting how that happens, to be fair. It's something I was trying to play around with and like what's working, what's not working, but there's no
I
trend if that
don't,
makes sense.
yeah, I don't think anything works. I think you just get
No.
lucky. Like you post a reel and you're like, boom, like, and then that's it. Like it just trends and it's the shittest thing ever. And you're like, all right, cool. Clearly shit stuff always
Do
works.
more
Shit stuff
that.
works. Like if you put effort
Unless
into it, it doesn't work.
work.
Yeah, that's
Mic drop.
no, that's
Class.
it. But yeah, that's the end of the year for me.
Excellent. Brilliant. Here's
But
to
no,
full time.
easy, man. Honestly, I don't even know how long we've been on for, but a while, so it's fine. Does it tell you on Zoom?
An hour usually. So
Yeah,
good
that's
vibes.
fine. But no, I won't take up too much of your time, man, because I know you're probably got some calls and stuff and work to do for the rest of the day as well. So, as always, the 1% podcast. What is that one thing that you can leave someone that'll help them move 1% further forward tomorrow?
I'd say solitude, if anything, spend time by yourself. And the reason why I say that is because there's an analogy which has stayed at the forefront for a very long time. Is like, when you're driving to a destination and you lose where you're going, the first thing you do in the car is turn the radio down because then you can figure where you're going, so the noise is gone. And then when you figure out where you're going again, you put the voice back up, and then you can actually know exactly where you're going, so you don't get swayed by the comments, the noise, the clutter, but you're clear-headed. So I think that's one take point to be moving forward. It's just going to take spend time by yourself, turn the music down, turn the noise down, take the comments away, spend some time by yourself. That's the biggest thing I'd say.
Amazing, man. It's good.
So
I like that one. That hits home very nicely today. So it's awesome. No, honestly, but thank you so much
pleasure.
for your time. And as always, we will probably be back on here very soon. So it's all good.
100%. See you in February in the
Yeah.
sandpit.
Yes.